lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title of today's video, we're going to be reacting to Seesaw by Suga, which I'm honestly super excited to get into. I have been loving exploring more of Suga's music, so I can't wait to get into this song and see what we're going to be getting from this one, especially because I'm so curious by the title. But before we do, if you guys are new to the channel, then welcome and thank you for joining. Make sure you're clicking that subscribe button down below to stay up to date with what I post on this channel. And while you're at it, why not leave a little like on this video as well? It really does help me to see what you're enjoying watching so I can keep on making more videos like this. But with all that being said, I just can't wait to get into this one, so let's go. Ooh. Okay. Ooh, the little sugar. Ooh. Hold up. Hold up. Number one, his voice is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love whenever we get more of a vocal from Suga because his voice is so stunning and I think he's just amazing in every single way. But I already am loving what this song I feel like is trying to relay in that sense of, you know, almost like a seesaw. You've had this relationship with this person and, you know, it's had its ups, it's had its downs, but ultimately you're sort of getting a little bit tired now of it constantly being almost on this pendulum that constantly keeps on swaying, you know, and it's never just stable. It's always, you're either really on a good note or you're on a really bad note and you can't find that balance in between. Like you say, you know, it's like a cycle and it's constantly on repeat, and after a while that starts to get tiring, it starts to get miserable, and it only really makes both of the people in that relationship miserable. So it's almost like, why are we still going on this ride of being up and down and never really knowing where we stand? If it's making both of us feel this way and it's making both of us miserable, why are we still trying at this? Like, maybe we should find some sort of resolution outside of this because it's just tiring. I love that comparison to the seesaw though. I think that's such like a clever thought, isn't it? I love the little like claps in the beat as well. Oh. Oh, I love that. I'm sick of this seesaw game. Someone has to get off from here. Like, one of us has got to make the move. Otherwise, we're just going to continue on this for the rest of our lives and both be so incredibly just sick of this situation. So one of us has got to, you know, take a stand in saying, I'm not going to be sticking around for this anymore. I'm going to be getting off this seesaw. You know, because otherwise we're never going to find that balance again. We're just going to be stuck for the rest of our lives in this uncertainty. I think just having the strength to be able to say, like, somebody's got to make the first move here and it's going to have to be me because it's not going to be you. You know, constantly we're on this ride of just never-ending pain and hurt and upset. So somebody's got to make a stop and it's going to have to be me. I think that just takes so much strength in and of itself, doesn't it? You know, and so much power. But I love how with this song we're getting more of the vocals, like I said, from Suga, but also we've got that, like, you know, little rap moment as well going on, and it almost is in and of itself, like, you're saying this is a seesaw, this love is almost like a seesaw, but even I feel like having the two almost combat each other, the vocals and the rap, it's almost like that in and of itself is, you know, two things combating, almost like a seesaw going up and down. It's like that almost relays in the vocals and the rap switching so seamlessly in a sense as well. And I think that's really cool. Let's not just drag this out, you know? Oh, yeah, that's so true though, isn't it? It's like, even in these relationships, you know, even though it maybe seems in a sense a little bit toxic of this cycle going on, you don't necessarily want to be seen as the person who's caused this, or the person who is, you know, like he's saying, the bad guy in this situation, like the one who is going to be leaving the other person behind, because everybody else then has that perspective of, oh, you've left that person, you're the one in the wrong. But it's like, no, this is like a reciprocal thing. This is a relationship that's been going and heading this way for so long. People on the outside don't necessarily see what's going on the inside. They don't see that it's, you know, a two-way thing, that this relationship just isn't working on both parts. And in a sense, then the person who leaves, it almost is like on the outside, everybody thinks, oh, they must be the one in the wrong. But it's like, no, this is something that's been this cycle for so long now. And it's like, one of us had to end this, because if we hadn't, we'd have just been stuck forever on this constant merry-go-round, you know? So it is just like, in some sense, that in and of itself is toxic, because it's like, I know that if I'm the one to end this, it's going to look bad on me. It's going to make me look like the one who's caused this, when in actual fact, it's just a natural phase of maybe growing apart, growing distant, you know, having this sense of this relationship not being right for both parties. But it's like, I don't want to be the one to have to look like the bad guy here, because there's no real bad guy in a sense. This is just the way the relationship's played out, you know? Oh, it's not the parallel I wished for. Oh, I just love that as well. This is not the parallel I wished for, you know. I always had this idea of what love would be, and love almost runs along that same line of you both feeling that love for each other and that strength within a relationship together. But ultimately, this relationship has ended on the complete flip side of that of, yes, we might have parallel feelings, but those parallel feelings are feelings of hurt, of upset, of just distress, of toxicity, of just all of these weights on us. And it's like, that isn't what I thought that love was going to be, but somehow I've ended up in this situation and I don't really know how to get out of it. And that is something that's so sad to think about, isn't it? You know, it's almost like weighing on you so much, but you can't physically get out of it, because whichever way you turn to, it's like all the doors are closed. And that, it's just like such a difficult thing to think about, isn't it? Because it is just, sometimes you get so overbearingly stuck, and it's like, how do you find your way out of that, you know? Oh, those vocals, those layered vocals. Being on top of this seesaw is so dangerous. Like, I'm the one at the moment now who has the most probability of falling. Like, I'm the one who's going to crash land here, whilst you're just going to be the one to come out of this, you know, on a stable path. Like, people are going to look at you. If I'm the one to end this relationship, people are going to look at you and think, oh, this person's been left, to quote Suga, by this bad guy. And then I'm the one who's going to have to take the fall. I'm the one who's going to have to deal with all of the backlash from this. And it's like, that's not fair. It's not right on my part, because ultimately we've both gone through this feeling together. We both, you know, are having this weigh heavily on us. And just because I'm the one who's wanting to try and maybe make the first move of resolving this situation so we both can move on, it's like, I'm not going to be the one to have to take all of the responsibility for this, because it doesn't all lie on my shoulders. But somehow I know that if I walk away from this, people are going to see it in that way. And then I'm going to be the one who's having to be left to pick up the pieces of what people think of me, because I'm the one who's, you know, on the highest pedestal of this seesaw that's gonna take the biggest fall. It's just so like sad, because it is so true. I feel like sometimes in relationships, people from an outside perspective always feel like they know exactly what's going on in somebody's life, in somebody's love life, you know? And it's like nobody knows the full picture of what anybody experiences. So before making that judgment of people, maybe think to yourself that you don't necessarily know the full picture before you choose to judge that person for their actions, you know? Oh. Like slowly coming back into that sense of yourself again, you know, and finding that real individuality outside of that relationship. Hold on a second. Those vocal ad-libs in the back in. Sugar. Absolutely stunning. Oh my gosh. But him just saying, you know, I'm walking atop this seesaw now that you're not on. It's like, finally I'm able to almost breathe, in a sense. Like I'm able to finally find my own way out of this situation, and I'm able to take the steps in moving forward without you. Because we've been like dancing this dance for so long, I thought I would just be stuck in this constant loop. But it's like now I'm finding a way out of this. Oh, those little vocals in the back. Wow. Absolutely incredible. And I love as well how at the end there, as we got further to the end, the more of the repetition that came with those lyrics, you know, and I think it almost is like that seesaw in a sense again, like even through the lyricism and the rhythm in a way, it's like you're almost on that seesaw, because it's like hold up, you know, talking about that seesaw that they aren't on anymore. And then hold up, just like how in the beginning you weren't here. It's like, you know, we've got that seesaw almost in the flow there, which is really, really incredible. But I just loved everything this song, I feel like, represented and resonated. I think it's something that definitely speaks true to how difficult sometimes it can be to navigate relationships, and how difficult it can be to almost break free sometimes within those relationships. And I think that the truth and the honesty through this song was absolutely just beautiful, wasn't it? But I just love the way, like I was saying earlier on, that we had that mixture from Suga here with the vocals as well as the rap. I just thought that was so, so incredible. Suga to me is just one of those musical geniuses, I feel like, and I think that the more I listen to his music, the more I love, because it's just like you never know what to expect from him as an artist. Like, I feel like he has his own sound within music, but also he can explore and play around with that sense of musicality so well. And I think that's what this song really did. Like, I wasn't expecting the vocals, but the vocals were such a beautiful addition to the song, and I think I'm loving hearing and seeing more of that from him as well. But honestly, I just absolutely am loving listening to more of these solo songs. If you have any other recommendations, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching along this video with me. If you did, like I said, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button down below to stay up to date with what I post on this channel. And while you're at it, why not leave a little like on this video as well? It really does help me to see what you're enjoying watching, so I can keep on making more videos like this. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.